So now we can use the information we already have to solve some problems where we have to work backwards. Let's look at this first one here. In the first one, we're told that the area of this sector is 20 centimetres squared. We're told that the radius of the circle is 5 centimetres, but we're not told the angle of the sector. We're expected to work out what that angle is. So if we remember how we did this before, we did the angle in the sector divided by 360 was the proportion of the whole area of the circle that the sector made up. So that proportion, therefore, so the proportion of the angle to the whole circle is going to be the same as the proportion of the area of the sector divided by the area of the triangle, of this circle, sorry. I say triangle. And if we rearrange that, multiply both sides by 360, we get x is equal to 360 times the area of the sector divided by the area of the circle. So all we're doing now is saying we've got the area of the sector because we've been told that. We know the area of a circle because it's pi r squared, which is pi times 5 squared. So that means we can work out what the angle is. So this equals 360 times 20, because that's the area of the sector. And on the bottom of our fraction, we're going to have the area of the circle, which is pi times 5 squared. We can put that all in our calculator in one go. If we put in there a fraction, 360 times 20, and on the bottom of the fraction we have pi times 5 squared. So we put it in the calculator exactly as we've written it down on the page, and that equals 91.7 degrees to 1 decimal place. The second example here, we're given the area of the sector again, and this time we are given the angle, but we're not given the radius of the circle, so we've got a different thing missing. So in this case we've got the angle over 360, and that again still equals the area of the sector divided by the area of the circle. But now, of course, we don't have the radius squared, so we've got to do quite a bit of rearranging here before we get things done. So the area of the sector is 120 divided by pi times r squared. We don't know what r is. So let's try and get all of these things onto one line. So let's multiply both sides by pi. That gives us 160 lots of pi divided by 360 equals 120 divided by now r squared. Let's multiply both sides by r squared. That gives us 160 pi r squared over 360 equals 120. And now we're going to multiply both sides by this 360. So 160 pi r squared equals 120 times 360. And now finally, to get our r, we have to divide by 160 pi. So r squared equals 120 times 360 divided by 160 pi. And to get rid of the squared, we're just going to take a square root. So again, we can do all of this in one go on the calculator. So we want a square root around everything, and inside that square root we want a fraction. On top of the fraction is 120 times 360, and on the bottom of the fraction is 160 times pi. And there we go. And the answer we get there is 9.3 centimetres, and that's to 1 decimal place. That's quite a bit of rearranging, but if you work through that in the same way I have, you'll see how we get to the answer in quite a straightforward way.